Stop reheating your leftovers for a minute, because the biggest danger in most reheated food stories isn't what people think it is. It's not that your microwave is creating cancer out of thin air. The real risk, especially for seniors, is much simpler and much more common. Certain leftovers can grow bacteria that produce toxins, and some of those toxins are not reliably destroyed by reheating. Add to that the fact that older adults are more likely to get severely sick from foodborne illness, and you've got a problem that's hiding in plain sight in millions of kitchens. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 5 common foods that seniors reheat all the time, the specific mistake that makes each one risky, and exactly how to handle them safely. I'll count down from number 5 to number 1. And stay until number 2, because it's the one almost nobody expects. A normal food that becomes genuinely dangerous when it's stored the wrong way, especially if you wrapped it in something you thought was harmless. Quick question before we start. What age range are you in? 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80 plus? And do you reheat leftovers most days? That one habit determines whether these rules matter a little or a lot. All right, let's get into it. Number 5, thick soups, stews, gravy, and casseroles. These feel like the safest leftovers in the world, right? They're hot, they're cooked, they're comfort food. The problem isn't reheating them, it's how they cool. Large pots of soup and big trays of casserole can stay warm in the middle for a long time. That warm, in-between temperature range is exactly where bacteria can multiply quickly. One of the biggest culprits in leftover-related illness is Clostridium perfringens, which shows up often in foods like stews and meat-heavy soups, gravy, stews, and casseroles. Large batches of cooked food held warm too long. The classic mistake is leaving a huge pot on the stove to cool naturally, then putting it in the fridge hours later. By then, bacteria may have multiplied. Reheating may kill bacteria, but if the food sat too long in the danger zone, you can still end up with a miserable gastrointestinal illness. What to do instead? Cool these foods fast. Don't cool a whole pot as one big mass. Split into shallow containers so the food cools quickly. Refrigerate within 2 hours, and in hot environments, aim for 1 hour. When reheating, reheat thoroughly. Bring soups to a real simmer and stir well. Microwave tip: microwaves heat unevenly. If you reheat soup in the microwave, stir it halfway and again at the end, and let it sit a minute so heat equalizes. Number 4, chicken and turkey, especially meal prep poultry. This one hits seniors hard because chicken is a healthy staple. High protein, easy to chew, easy to portion. The danger isn't chicken becomes toxic when reheated. The danger is that poultry is one of the easiest foods to contaminate and one of the easiest foods to reheat unevenly. If cooked chicken is cooled slowly, stored too long, or reheated only until warm, you can get into trouble. The bacteria we worry about with poultry include salmonella and others, but the leftover problem often comes from storage and reheat practices, not from freshly cooked chicken. The common senior routine that creates risk: cook a week of chicken on Sunday, store it in one big container, reheat pieces quickly throughout the week, sometimes reheat the same container multiple times. Every time you open the container, warm it, cool it again, you create more opportunity for growth and contamination. Safe approach: store chicken in smaller portions so you only reheat what you'll eat. Reheat to a real hot all the way through, not just warm edges and cold center. A food thermometer is ideal. Many safety guidelines use 165 degrees, 74 degrees, as the target reheating temp for leftovers like poultry. Don't keep cooked chicken in the fridge for as long as it looks okay. Use it within a few days, and when in doubt, throw it out. Quality tip, not safety but useful: chicken dries out when microwaved. Add moisture, cover it, add a spoon of broth, or reheat gently on the stove. Number 3, fish and seafood leftovers. Seafood is tricky, not because reheating automatically makes it poisonous, but because fish can spoil faster, and the smell can trick people. Some people think it smells strong so it must be bad when it's just fish. Others think it looks fine when it isn't. Also, certain fish, like tuna, mackerel, mahi-mahi, can cause histamine-type reactions if they were mishandled before you even bought them. Reheating doesn't fix that. That's why seafood safety is very dependent on proper refrigeration from the start. Safer seafood habits. Eat seafood leftovers sooner than you'd eat beef or pasta. Keep the fridge cold and store fish in the coldest section, tightly sealed. Reheat thoroughly, but don't overcook to rubber. Again, gentle heat plus covered helps. If seafood smells off in a sour or ammonia-like way, don't gamble. For seniors, a simple rule is best. Seafood leftovers are not the place to be optimistic. Number 2, baked potatoes, especially when wrapped in foil. This is the one that surprises people. A baked potato feels harmless, but a very specific situation can create a serious risk. Baked potatoes wrapped in foil and left at room temperature. Foil can trap heat and create low oxygen conditions. If a potato sits too long like that, it can become a risk environment for dangerous bacterial growth. This isn't common daily illness. This is a don't play with it category. What to do? If you bake potatoes in foil, don't leave them sitting out wrapped. Cool and refrigerate promptly. Store them unwrapped or loosely wrapped once cooled. Reheat thoroughly. If a foil-wrapped potato sat out for hours, don't rationalize it. Discard it. This is one of those leftover rules that feels strict until you see how bad the outcome can be. Number 1, rice. And yes, pasta too belongs in this conversation. If there is one leftover that sends people into sudden vomiting and stomach cramps, it's often rice that was handled casually. Cooked rice can carry spores of a bacteria called Bacillus cereus. The key detail is that these spores can survive cooking. When rice sits warm or at room temperature, those spores can grow and produce toxins. The reason people get blindsided is because those toxins are not reliably destroyed by reheating. So you can do everything that feels right, microwave it until it's steaming, and still get sick if the rice was held at unsafe temps for too long earlier. This is why rice has a special rule. Safe rice rules. Don't leave cooked rice sitting out. Refrigerate quickly, ideally within 1 hour. Store in shallow containers so it cools fast. Reheat only once and reheat thoroughly. If rice was left out on the counter for hours, don't risk it. And yes, pasta can have similar issues if it's left warm too long and repeatedly cooled, reheated. Now let me clear up a common fear people have after watching dramatic reheated food causes cancer videos. High heat cooking can create certain compounds, like heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, especially when meats are grilled, charred, or cooked at very high temperatures. Those compounds have been studied for potential links to cancer risk, but most normal reheating, warming leftovers to safe temperature, is not the main driver of those compounds in real life. The bigger long-term risk factors are things like frequent charring, blackening of meats, heavy processed meat intake, consistently high heat frying without balance, low fiber intake, poor overall dietary pattern, smoking, alcohol, inactivity, obesity, poor sleep. So don't panic and throw away your microwave. The goal is not fear. The goal is safety and smart habits. Here's the simple senior safe leftovers checklist to follow starting today. 1. Cool fast. Large batches must be divided into shallow containers before refrigeration. 2. Refrigerate promptly. Use the 2-hour rule as a maximum and aim for 1 hour in warm conditions. 3. Reheat hot enough. Warm is not safe. Reheat until hot throughout. Many guidelines use 165 degrees Fahrenheit for leftovers. Stir and let stand for microwave reheats. 4. Reheat once, not repeatedly. Don't heat the entire container over and over. Portion first. 5. When in doubt, throw it out. Food poisoning is not worth saving. $6 of leftovers, especially for older adults. If you want, tell me what you reheat most often. Rice, chicken, soup, potatoes, fish. I'll tailor a tighter script version for your exact audience, like for seniors living alone, for caregivers meal prepping, or for diabetics heart patients who meal prep weekly.